everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm joined by the one and only beautiful Finley. Finley, if you're new here, is my second child. I already have another little boy called George who is 4.5 and he is at school today. And Finley is my second and my last baby, so I'm trying to savour every moment of him just growing up, but it's happening way too quickly. So I thought, as it is coming up in the next couple of days of being Finn's, I was going to say 6-month birthday, it's not a birthday, but he's going to be 6 months old, aren't you? And the time has just gone so quickly. Everything has just gone in like double speed, and I really wish it would just slow down for a second at least. Before we start today's video, I just wanted to very quickly say, if you can hear some kind of loud industrial kind of roadwork noise, there are roadworks going on outside of our house, literally outside of the house. We can't get out of our driveway without asking them to move, and I can't really use my path either because they're kind of like crossing it, so I have to go through the driveway, ask them to move so I can get through, because I kind of like doing building works on the path or something, but it's so loud and it's been happening the last few days and I don't know when it's going to stop, but I wanted to film this video so hopefully it's not going to disturb things too much. So as always then, I have got some notes on my phone because otherwise I feel like I would just forget things that I really wanted to say. So I've got a list of everything then that I wanted to talk about today. But today is Wednesday the 9th and Finley is going to be 6 months old on Friday, which will be the 11th of November. And so much has happened in the last 6 months. It's been a very different experience compared to George. George, if you didn't know, was born premature. I say it in quite a lot of the baby updates because I feel like I'm not comparing them, but comparing the experiences, because they were totally different. And with George being premature, everything happened that little bit later. So things are happening now that I feel like should be happening later. So when they're happening, I think, oh my goodness, Finn's doing things so early, but he's probably just doing it at the normal rate that he is supposed to. So first off then, starting with his eating habits. So it's been quite an exciting week for little Finn because we have started weaning him, which he is loving. We knew he was ready and it just didn't make sense to just keep waiting, and I feel like you know when your baby is ready, and we did it around 5.5 months, which I think most people do around then anyway. A lot of parents can start from 4 months old. It's just, you know your babies, you do what's right for them. So we started weaning Finn around 5.5 months and we knew he was ready because he was constantly watching us eat. He was reaching out to grab our food. He has been holding spoons at dinner time when we're eating and just like copying us and putting the spoon in his mouth. So we knew that was the biggest sign to start weaning him. He has got some preferences already. So he loves his porridge in the morning. He has banana porridge, which he absolutely loves. We did try him on some toast a couple of days ago. We started doing some like finger food weaning, which he loved. He kind of just sucked it and then chucked the rest on the floor. But you know, it's all about trying new foods, isn't it? It's all new experiences for him. He also, we've been doing just like a few puree pouches to begin with to kind of just get on our feet and see where we are. So he does have some favourites. He loves the sweet potato, he loves carrot and swede. Not a massive fan of the broccoli. I have tried it myself just to see what all the whinging was about. It's actually not very nice, so I probably won't get that one again. But he is a massive fan of the fruit pouches, as all babies are, because they're incredibly sweet. So he's been having like half a pouch of the fruits in the evenings as like a bit of like a dessert maybe. But he loves the apple and pear and he loves the mango one as well. I remember with George we used to buy the prune pouch. When he used to get constipated we would give him some prunes and it did actually open him up and allow him to go to the toilet and give him some kind of relief. So we haven't really had that with Finn the last couple of weeks to a month, so if he does get a bit bunged up we know to buy some prunes. He is of course still on milk because, you know, for the first year of their life they get most of their nutrition and everything they need from milk. So he's still on around 6 to 7 ounces every sort of 3 to 4 hours. It has extended a little bit since we've started weaning him, just because I'm guessing the food that he's eating. Bless you. Any more? I'm guessing the food that he's eating is just filling him up a little bit longer. He does also have some snacks throughout the day. We do have some like the finger snacks, like the little wafers. He loves the banana wafers. But like I say, we've only been doing it like a week or so, and I'm sure over time I'll start getting a bit more confident and just start giving him fruit and vegetables to actually pick up and eat and do some sort of baby-led weaning, but it does scare me. Very quickly then, before we move on to the topic of sleeping, because I feel like I do things in stages, I just wanted to talk a little bit about well, we thought that he was having like an allergic reaction or some kind of intolerance to something he was eating, because it all kind of started at the same time. So we started weaning him, and then a few days later, or pretty much actually I would say that day, maybe like the evening of, he came up in like such a massive rash on his face, and it was so red, blotchy, didn't seem to really bother him. So I got him in that day to, well, I spoke to the doctor, and she seemed to think that yes, maybe it was something that he had eaten, and they thought maybe out of everything we had fed him then, they thought maybe it was gluten. So we kind of cut that out of his diet for a few days, and she said it would go back down, and it didn't, and it started going all up his tummy and his legs, behind his ears and on his ears, and the last sort of couple of days you can tell that it's starting to irritate him a little bit because he's scratching his face. At night time we do put scratchy mitts on him so he can't hurt himself. However, he just pulls them off, and he ends up, I'll be back in a moment. I think a snack was needed. So he loves these Ella's Kitchen. They come in lots of different flavours. These are the, oh, do you mind? Are you hungry? These are the strawberry and banana ones, but they do have like tomato. We've had the carrot ones. We're just like trialing different flavours. Sorry, where was I? So yes, they thought then that maybe it was gluten, so we cut that out all of his diet. We didn't give him any of these like melty snacks, we didn't give him porridge anymore, and we was kind of just sticking then for the moment with like the pouches of fruit and veg. But yeah, it was still there. It was all over his face, his tummy, and it started to irritate him. Oh, that's where I was, sorry. Yeah, at night then we put scratchy mitts on him to prevent him from scratching his face, because during the day we see him, we can stop him. He's never not with me. He started pulling off his scratchy mitts at night time, and of course I'm trimming his nails, but there's only so much you can trim, and he is just really sort of scratching at his face. I don't know if you can see on his forehead and bits that he has got a few sort of marks on his face and where he is scratching, but we have gotten in now to see the doctor again, so hopefully they can give him some kind of cream to settle it. I've been using Baby Aveeno. Health Visitor said to use that because it doesn't really have much in it, and that has given him some kind of relief, but whether he needs maybe something a little stronger, who knows. So moving on to sleeping then, he is very, very up and down. It can change on a daily basis. So one night, I was saying this to my friend actually who lives across the road, because she's just had a little baby too, and we always talk about baby sleep and things like that, and she was saying, sorry if you can hear the roadworks again, she was saying that she's not sleeping very well in the night at the moment, and I was saying that Finn has been sleeping okay, he kind of slept through, and then the next night he'll be up having like 2 or 3 feeds. So it is really, really, it is so different, but never, you know, there's not one night that's ever the same. So like last night, for example, he went to bed, he fell asleep at 9 p.m. He was up at 11:30 for a feed, and then he went back down and slept until 6:30 this morning. Gave him a feed, and then he went back to sleep till 9 a.m. So I think that's pretty good. The night before that, he had a feed at 9, didn't wake up again until 9 a.m. Like, he just wouldn't wake. And he's quite good when it comes to sleep, like I say, some days, but then another day he might go down at 10 and be up at 12, 2, 4, 7, and just want like a full 6-ounce feed every time. So no 2 nights are the same. He's still in our room with us, mainly because I probably just can't part with him. I might wait till just after Christmas. I'm going back to work after then, so I'm going to start being really sad anyway, but I'm just trying to make the most of all the babyness because it is my last and I just don't want him to grow up. So some kind of like milestones then, I can't remember, I'm not really sure what I mentioned in the last video. I will link the other monthly updates down below. He has got 2 teeth, he's had 2 teeth for quite some time. I know I mentioned that in the previous videos because he has had 2 teeth now since like 3.5 months, 4 months-ish. And he is still very salivary, he's always wanting to chew something, so I'm not sure whether the other teeth now are taking a little while to come through, or if they're just going to be like in a few months' time because the bottom 2 did pop up relatively quickly. And he is completely confident now in rolling. He can go from his front to his back and vice versa. He seems to be choosing to sleep on his tummy a lot, so I'll pop him down on his back and then I'll wake up and he'll be on his tummy, and he seems to be most comfortable there, and I'm not too worried about it because they say, the health visitor said, that if they can get themselves backwards and forwards, you don't really need to worry. If they're comfortable like that, then let them sleep like that. Here you go. So yeah, it's still too early for him to start crawling. He's, you know, not even 6 months or 6 months and a couple of days, but he is really, really trying to. He is just like, he's like a worm, right? He has no, well, he does have arms and legs, but he doesn't know how to use them. But he's like shimmying around the floor wherever we are, and he can make his way from one end of the room to the other by just wiggling and moving his body. He tends to go backwards a lot easier in turns and instead of going forward, but he just wants to move, and you can see him trying to get up on his knees and like pushing off his feet, and he does just fall flat on his face, and of course only in soft settings. But he is really trying, like he's desperate to try and get things that are on the floor. So I don't think it's going to be too long until he does start, you know, trying to crawl at least. With sitting up, he isn't sitting up completely unsupported yet. He can sit up for maybe like 5 or so seconds and then he does just sort of droop away. He can sit with like me supporting him, like he can, you know, like hold himself, and like now, whoop, I've got it, yeah. But yeah, we're just trying to keep him, you know, doing it himself, and you know, hopefully he'll get there very, very soon. It's still only early. I think they say around 6 months that they can sit unsupported. My friend actually, who lives across the road, she really kindly gave us I think it's called, I can't remember what she called it. Is it a bumbaroo? I'm not sure if that's the name. It's a little seat for mamas and papas that they can sit in, and it helps supporting them in trying to sit up on their own. It's got like a little PlayStation in front of it. Not a PlayStation, a little play area bit for them to like play with on the table and sort of distract them so they can practice sitting up. But it also does work as a table, which is really handy, so he does sit in there sometimes when he has his snacks instead of the high chair. So a few other things, and because he is getting massive, like he is a bit of a chunk, not like chubby, he's just a lot of baby. Like he's quite long. I think chub on baby is just the cutest thing as well. But yeah, he's getting bigger, so it was really funny actually. The other day he wore an outfit. Are you laughing or crying? He wore an outfit that George wore on his first birthday. If I can, I'll insert 2 pictures of the boys, and you can have a look. But obviously, you know, George was brought into this world a little too early. So obviously these clothes that we had for him, they did last a lot longer, but now with Finn, he's not really getting many wears out of them because he's growing so quickly. So he's currently in, oh, you got a hair, sorry. So he currently is in 6 to 9 month clothes. Some items he is going into 9 to 12 months. So he is wearing slightly bigger clothes than for his sort of like age. And we've already moved him out of the car seat that we had for him. I remember with the proper car seat that you attach to the Isofix base, like the one they come home from the hospital in, George got a good year to maybe like 14 months out of that because he was so tiny. Finn, however, was out of it at 5 months because he was so chunky and big in it, and he didn't fit in. It wasn't, I don't think it was necessarily, it wasn't unsafe for him to be in, but I definitely thought you are going to be so much more comfortable in something else. So we kept the Joey, is it called the i360? We kept that from George, and we popped that now back in the car, and he is so much more comfortable in that. Obviously he's sitting facing away. So we also have moved him from his bassinet to the actual proper pram part of the buggy now, because he's getting bigger. Again, we got so much use out of George in that bassinet, and he loved lying down because, you know, it took him a longer time to do like sitting up and things like that, because he was prem. And yeah, everything just seems to be happening. Obviously it's happening at the right time for a baby. It just feels really weird to us as parents because with George everything was just so different. But yeah, it is lovely. Finn is the happiest, smiliest, most gorgeous little boy. He's so content, apart from when he's hungry. He gets a bit hangry. And George absolutely adores him. Like, the two of them get on so well. They're so happy together. They already play together. They squabble already over toys. But yeah, I couldn't ask for two happier, better boys. They are just my absolute worlds. So that is the end of today's video. That was Finn's 6-month update. Like I say, I'll link some other videos down below of previous updates that I've done. I've been a really bad, I've been a really bad vlogger. I'm not a vlogger. I've just been trying to film more on my channel and I've been really bad at it, and I'm sorry about that. I say every video, I'm trying to put content out there. Obviously I don't make money from this, so sometimes my real work and, you know, kids and things, they do come first. But I'm really trying because it's like my greatest hobby and passion, and I love filming YouTube videos, but it can be a bit draining. But I'm trying my desperate hardest to put out content because I love doing it. But yeah, that is the end of today's video. If you did enjoy it, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would love to have you as a regular viewer. If you hit that bell as well, it will also notify you when I upload a video, so you won't miss out on any content that I do upload. If you did like it, please hit the thumbs up button. Like I say, it just gives me a good understanding of who's watching, who likes it, and if you also want to, leave a comment down below of how you found the video, how your little ones are doing, and any perhaps video ideas that you may have. I'm always open for suggestions with some videos. But thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely rest of your day, and it is a goodbye from me and little Finn. Bye bye.